What are the difficulties when speaking about the church and Israel? This is an interesting question in my opinion. I personally do not like narrow-mindedness in this regard when dealing with this subject. For instance, in the Christian world we hear such statements, this is all irrelevant, we're not taught this way. Well, I say you need to see a bigger picture here. We too, as Messianic Jews, on our part, need to see things from a different perspective. I'm not shy to admit this. There are plenty of problems in the Messianic movement around the world. Therefore, I would say that we need to work together in this area. What upsets you the most in church's approach to Israel? Well, it is anti-Semitism, which in many cases is hidden. And some believers bless Israel only because of the promise God gave to Abraham, when he said, I will bless those who bless you. While some believers do it with good motives, others do not understand it, why they need to do it, and only do it because of the selfish gain. Something like asking God to bless them when they bless Jerusalem. In return, they simply expect a material blessing. They do not understand that the purpose behind the promise to Abraham was quite different. The purpose is to restore Zion. It is actually a commandment for the church, and as I said, the form of anti-Semitism is hidden. For instance, when believers say that I always knew that Jews are shrewd, I like this quality in them. Well, when they say this, they do not understand that God gives wisdom, and this wisdom is part of the blessing He promised to the descendants of Abraham. Therefore, this should not serve as a reason to make mockery of the Jewish people. It simply hurts and further alienates the people away from God. Sadly, many individuals who do this without even thinking, they just simply do it, not understanding the consequences. You know, the Russian-speaking church is not a problem here, but generally speaking, globally, many churches who believe the scriptures do not love Israel and do not pray for its restoration. On the contrary, they call Israel as an aggressor and some other negative things. I can say the same thing about the Russian-speaking church. I don't see it coming from them. Mostly I see this from the Arabic-speaking church, some English, German-speaking, Italian-speaking churches, which believe in replacement theology. Meaning the time of Israel is finished, and now it is the age of the church. Well, if God finished with Israel, despite His promises of eternal faithfulness, I can guarantee you that He will not keep His promises to you. Nationality. Does it play its role in Christ or not? No, I don't think so. In Yeshua, everyone is equal, everyone is absolutely equal. I say more, not just nationality, but social origin. There is also no distinction between the genders. In relation to Him, we are a new creation. But when we look at the relationship horizontally, on a national level, there are distinctions, and we should celebrate it. For instance, if you have a Jewish friend who comes to visit you, do not offer him food that he wouldn't eat, for instance, pork. He wouldn't be eating it. Or will do it out of respect and will feel guilty afterwards. Show your respect. You will show your respect to a woman by taking into consideration the fact that she doesn't like certain tough sports, racing, for instance. Bottom line, there are certain distinctions that every nation has. And every nation has its own way, not always universally acceptable. And as such, we should be more considerate of this fact. Next question. Do you read and use more Old Testament or New Testament? Well, I read all scriptures. But I have favorite books, that's for sure. For instance, I love book of Genesis, also book of Exodus, Gospel of Matthew. I love very much letter to Ephesians and Hebrews. So I read all the Bible and I do not divide it. Next question. Do you spend more effort to turn the church to Israel or other way around? As a Messianic Jew, I spend more time trying to bring and highlight the need of the church to correct certain things. We give theological reasons for this. we do not turn Israel to the church. We simply preach Yeshua to our people, and those who see him as the one who was promised, that he is one of us, this leads them to be born again. Eventually, they begin to see their brothers and sisters in a positive light. And this way, I call it a true movement. Other things are less effective. I think I've covered all the questions. Thank you very much, and may the Lord bless you.